there is one question I noticed have been asked repeatedly. What if I don't win the Arnold Classic? And for me, that is not an option. So I'm not making a plan B, because obviously people are saying, what if you don't qualify? What other show would you do? That then is already manifesting that you're not going to win the Arnold and get that qualification. So for me, it's all about putting everything into this prep, positive thinking, and that we're going to get the win. So there's no plan B, it's all about plan A, which is winning that Arnold Classic show.
What was your weight?
I
told you to put it in the phone.
218.4.
Alex. I'll have to decide to try something.
Yeah, nutrition's exactly the same, mate. Yeah, no deviation out whatsoever. Right, where are we at?
So body weight obviously slightly down, 0.3 of a kilo.
Yeah.
But we've actually seen body fat reduction, so 10.9, which was the first measurement on this prep, now down to 10.4%.
Right.
So loss in body fat to 0.5%, which is good.
Yeah.
And that's a reduction pretty much in half a kilo of fat gone.
So basically these readings are showing now, in layman's terms, that 9.5 weeks out from the last Olympia I did, ish, from when we recorded, at this stage I was 8.7% body fat, and this is what these are the only measurements I really take on board. I leave the rest to Dan and whatever you. I'm 10.4 now, exactly 9.5 weeks out, so around the same time from this show, which is showing that I'm obviously carrying more body fat at this stage. But what Dan's trying to say and to reason with me and make sure that I don't start doing hill sprints at night and marathons is I'm actually carrying a lot more muscle mass now. So from 83.4, I'm now 88.9. So there's quite a big, like 5 kg difference in that. So yeah, although I'm carrying a bit more fat, I'm carrying a lot more muscle at this stage.
I first met Ryan, it was 6 years ago, and it was Instagram. I did follow Ryan, he came up on my Explore page, and I remember just seeing this little picture of him, clicking on it, and I'd not long had Instagram, so I was just kind of figuring out how to use it. Anyway, he came up on my Explore page and I was like, oh wow. So I followed him, and I never in a million years expected him to follow back, but I think it was like 7 o'clock the next morning I woke up and I looked at my phone and it said, Ryan J. Terry is now following you. And I was like, that's not that guy, surely it's not that guy. And it was.
A few weeks later, it was his birthday. I could see that on Instagram and I thought, right, this is your time, like now or never, just send happy birthday. And that was what I did. We just got chatting from there, and I think it was probably about just over a month later. I was away on holiday and he said, oh, you know, let's meet up and go out for a drink. And I said to him, well, I'm not free this weekend, I'm not free next weekend, but I'm free the weekend after. And he said, oh, how convenient, Valentine's night. And honestly, at that point, I'd literally not thought of it at all. So that was quite embarrassing because it looked very forward. However, he did take me out on Valentine's night. That was the first time we ever met, and he drove from Doncaster to Birmingham, which I think took him 2.5, nearly 3 hours. We'd never spoke on the phone, nothing. It was literally just messaging on Instagram. And yeah, he came to pick me up. I was still at my parents' house at the time, and I'm fairly sure they met him before I did. I think they were going out just as he arrived. Bless him. And that was it. Every weekend after that we met up, and the rest is history.
I remember a girl, I would sneak into her parents' house. I could stay for hours, and we looked into each other's eyes. day I thought I was Romeo, I was looking for my Juliet. And as soon as I left, I told my friends. When we were younger, we were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, oh, everything was black and white. When we were younger, we were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, oh, everything was black and white. When we were younger.
So come Olympia 2019, I was quite heavily pregnant. When I first took the pregnancy test, I started working out dates and I said to Ryan, you do realise this baby is due the weekend of the Olympia this year? And he said, no, you've got that wrong. And I was like, no, I'm fairly adamant it's definitely that weekend. And we went for our 12-week scan after that. And yeah, baby was due on the weekend of the Olympia. So panic mode set in. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how you want to put it. I know the pandemic hasn't been a positive thing at all, but the silver lining for us was that Olympia was delayed, which ultimately meant that Ryan could be here for the birth of Alfie, and it also meant that he got to spend a little bit of time with Alfie before he had to go over to Dubai, where he had to spend a few weeks out there before he then went over to Las Vegas. So Alfie would have been 3 months old. It was very, very, very difficult for all of us. Ryan, we knew that, I think in total Ryan was away for a month. That was hard. A newborn and Dad leaving for a month wasn't ideal, but we knew that from both sides, we knew that was what had to be done. So I guess I'm particularly grateful that the Arnold has come around, because I can see that fire back in Ryan again. And honestly, after last Olympia, I really questioned whether he was ever going to compete ever again. I can see the old Ryan back again. Not the last time you'll see Ryan Terry.
See Superior Wellness on behalf of Miami Spas. They are here delivering my sauna, infrared sauna. I've got Johnny to come up on the day, he's my physio, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about why we're having this installed. Obviously we're 10 weeks out from the Arnold, so it's quite key for recovery.